Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I hope you're all doing okay today and that you are ready for some writing. I am very excited for this. It's my second writing stream ever, and last time I got a big chunk of writing done actually, so that was a big success. So I hope I will get a lot of writing done today as well, because I have been in a bit of a writing slump lately. It's weird with writing because I know exactly what I want to write. I have a bunch of stuff in my head, like scenes, dialogue, everything. But for some reason when I sit down with the document in front of me, it's just so hard to get it out. I don't know. It's weird. Writing block is just weird like that. So I hope that this stream will be able to help me with that. Last time I wrote on my fantasy trilogy, on book 1 in that one. And today I am planning to write on my vampire story. Hi everyone, welcome. And this one is very interesting because I have had this story in my head for a very long time. At least 7 years, I would say, at least. You're gonna be lurking today? Yeah, that's perfect. But yeah, I've been having this story in my head for 7 years. Or more, maybe even. I don't really remember, because time is flying, especially when you're a vampire. But yeah, before it was very different, and I have made a lot of changes to it, and these changes have led to basically no plot at all, just vibes. And it's very hard to write a story with just vibes. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I need something more consistent to be able to write. I've had scenes in my head, for example, my two main characters they are gonna get stuck at one point at a motel room with just one bed. Yeah, I'm doing that trope. And it's gonna lead to a bunch of funny situations for them. And I also know a lot of what the bad guys are doing behind the scene, but that is stuff that I'm not writing down, so it's been very hard to write this story. But now, just a few weeks ago, I think I was in the shower actually. Showers are great for thinking, guys. If you are stuck, take a shower or go for a walk. It's really helping with creativity. But yeah, I was in the shower and I just started thinking, and I got this scene. Showers or a massive poop. Yeah, I guess that works too. Just basically don't do anything that requires you thinking on anything else for a while, and you are bound to be creative, that's for sure. But yeah, I had this scene popping up in my head with a big ball scene. The ball has been very consistent throughout all of this. I know I want a big ball, and that has been consistent in the story from all the iterations of it. So it's a ball, and I was seeing this elegant elf-like vampire dude just stepping up to the throne and saying basically that he demands the law to be enforced and a conquest or a competition basically is to be held for the princess's hand in marriage. And that's where the plot came in, and just my head was just spinning around at this, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, but does it work? Is it generic? Is it weird? Does it work with the rest of it? So I just panic called Dudor, who is my like creative talking to person. We always have a lot of very interesting creative talks about my writing, and I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And he was like, I don't know. And then we just started thinking together, talking. We talked for like over an hour, and I have a plot. It's about two conflicting noble vampire houses. The one used to rule the land, and they got basically brutally murdered by the other family who took over the throne. And now the nobles who are basically loyal to that first family who was killed, they want revenge for this. They think that these people should not be on the throne at all. So yeah, and this competition is gonna be like a way for them to put one of their own on the throne. So yeah, and there's gonna be a lot of things. This is such an interesting story. It was just, from the beginning, it was very generic vampire meets human girl story, and they fell in love, of course, and that was it. I have scratched that completely. It's a modern setting, but it's still very high fantasy world. But it's a modern setting with vampires who, before they became vampires, like a long time ago, they were elves. So I have like vampire elves mixed with magic and necromancers and mobile phones, because it's set in a modern time. So I have this strange mix of like high fantasy, urban fantasy, paranormal vampire stuff going on. It's interesting, I think. It was not what I was picturing at first, but I think I can make it work, hopefully. Yeah. But let's not talk for too long. I think it's about time we start writing. Wait, hang on. The strange magic that allows people to talk to each other from a distance. Yeah. Cell phones, what a strange magic. But yeah, let's not talk for too long. I'm thinking of starting our first sprint. And for those of you who have not been on a writing stream before, I have only done one before. I'm gonna put up a timer. It's gonna run for 25 minutes. And during that time, I will not look at chat, I will not talk at all, I will just write, and I encourage you to do the same. Or if you want to just sit back and relax to me hammering on my keyboard, that's fine too. I mean, you do what you gotta do, you know? But yeah, so just know that I won't be very interactive during this time. I will put up a little message for newcomers as well, so that you are aware of that. And when the 25 minutes are over, we talk a bit more about how it went, what we wrote, how much we wrote, and etc. We can help each other out if we get stuck. So yeah. Let's start. Gonna see. Now my chat window is in the way of everything. I'm gonna move you to the right. You will not notice, but I will. So there. Gonna put up this. And yeah, I'm putting up the timer now. Good luck, everyone. Have fun. All right. First sprint is done. Good job, everyone. Let me remove that and also that. So, there. How did it go? You have lost some of the takes? Oh no! I'm so sorry to hear that. That's the worst, really. But you sort of remember what was supposed to happen? Yeah, that's good. That is like my biggest fear. I am terrible at having my texts anywhere else than on my computer. And I think about it a lot, that I should move it to like a USB or like emailing myself just to be sure, but I always forget. Because I'm arrogant like that. I'm like, no, but it's fine. I'm not gonna have a computer crash. And yeah, I swear, it's terrifying when I think about it, because I have so much written down and it's the worst to have to rewrite, really. I mean, in a way it's probably good to rewrite because it might get better than the first time, but it's still annoying if you're not planning on doing it, so yeah. And yeah, also, problem with having multiple documents. Can make a OneDrive setup or something, I'll help you later. Yeah, you're very welcome to do that. I would love that. Because yeah, it scares me. And also, when, as you said, Fia, when you have multiple documents, I have that problem too. Not so much that I have my story in multiple documents, but like, I have different versions of the story in different documents, and I realized now when I was writing, I just finished because I have 3 point of view characters. I have Lucy, Emma, and Max, and I was gonna switch to Emma's perspective now because I was just finished with Lucy's, and I just realized that, oh, I want this part from the old version, and then I had to find the old version. And how I have saved stuff on my computer doesn't always make a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense when I do it. I understand perfectly But then like, yeah, no, then I just don't understand anything, so... You're gonna end up with like 10. Yeah. Yeah. But I have a lot of different places, and then I have like old versions with like names and stuff, and I was like, oh, how did I spell this name? And I have to go back and look at that, and yeah, it can be pretty hard sometimes. I have been looking into getting Scrivener, I think it's called, which is supposed to be like a lot easier because you can do a lot more in it, like have everything in the same document but still separated from each other if you want to. But it's something you have to pay for. I mean, you do have to pay for Word as well, I guess. But since I don't know how it would work, I just am a bit scared to get it, because Word, I know how it works. I know how to use it, and yeah. So I guess I'm a bit old-fashioned and scared of progress. So yeah, I'm sticking to Word because I know how that works, and multiple documents. Yeah. But how did it go with the writing? I wrote quite a lot, I feel like. I'm gonna check my word count. Let's see, so I check the right document. If I ignore the part that I just copy-pasted from the other document, I have... Let's see. I have written 593 words. That's quite alright, I think. Usually when I write like in my own time, I tend to write like about 200 words and then I get tired. Or not that I get tired, but I get like writer's block and get like panicky because, oh no, it's not perfect, so I'm gonna end it here. So yeah. The assassin is off towards somewhere, and then I switch point of view to another character. Okay, that's good. Progress. I just had well, when I started, my main character Lucy was having like a sort of mental breakdown because it was approached by a scary vampire, and he is not a vampire himself. He's a vampire, which is, if you don't know, a half vampire. So in Lucy's case, he's half vampire, half elf, and the vampires in this society are basically like forced bodyguards and slaves, and they have to like put their lives on the line every day to fight vampires, to fight other vampires. They rarely live until 30 or even 25, because that's just how dangerous their lives are. So he's terrified of vampires because he has been mistreated by them over and over again. And he was having he met a vampire that he thought was threatening him, and was just having sort of mental breakdown. And then his cousin, who is a vampire, and actually the vampire princess of the story, just approached him, asked him if he was okay, and they had a very nice chat about freedom and being someone else and all that stuff. And then some servants came in, and it's time for our princess to get dressed and Lucy to go and be stationed somewhere else during the ball. And that's where I am, and now I'm changing my point of view back to Emma. You made a bunch of progress in Final Fantasy VII. I mean, that's good too. Not exactly writing, but hey, you do what you're gonna do. I'm gonna play that later. Maybe not today. I think I'm gonna play Baldur's Gate today, but during next week I definitely will try to get some Final Fantasy VII done as well. Oh, that new point of view is where the text were missing? Ah, that sucks. That sucks a lot. But I mean, it's good that you are here on the writing stream then, so you can get some progress done. Hi Captain, welcome! I am doing quite well. Just finished our first writing sprint here, so I have been writing quite a lot, which is very nice. Especially since I told the others this earlier this stream that I've been having like a writer's block for some time. So this is very, very good for my productivity. Yeah. So I'm thinking I switched point of view, and since I have written a lot of it already, I'm gonna try to read it and see how much I can keep and how much I must change, because as I said, that part from Emma's point of view is from my other version of the story before there were any elves or anything in it. So I need to check it out and see if I can work with it still. Leah is seeing men made of light and skipping class. Consequences are about to happen. Yeah, you don't skip class, that's a bad thing. Consequences tend to happen when you do that. You're being cooked like a... Oh my god, that heart. Like a roastery chicken. 23 degrees. Oh. Well, I would love to have some 23 degrees over here. Because it's freezing. Not so much inside. It's quite nice inside here. Yeah, exactly. We had snow today. A lot of it. And apparently it's gonna snow for like the whole rest of the week, I have been told as well. So... Yay! I am so done with this winter, guys. Like, seriously. We had winter since November. We barely even had autumn. Like, for real. I am done with winter. I just want spring now. And it's especially sad because last week, I think it was, when I walked home from work, me and my colleague, we actually saw some flowers trying to pop out of the ground, and yeah, I think they are probably dead by now, which is very sad. Oh yeah, the week you go to your parents, you can actually walk to work, and the weather's gonna be horrible. Yeah. It tends to be like that. When you can't go outside, it's gonna be horrible. Like, every time I work, like, or can't go out, it's just, it's super sunny and super pretty, but as soon as I can go out, it's just grey, gloomy, rainy, snowy, all that. You are already a vampire, so it's even worse for me. Yeah, I can understand that, being a vampire myself. Yeah. I mean, it's... I do like sun and heat a lot, but I don't want it to be too hot. I want just enough. We have a word in Swedish that is lagom. Which basically means just enough, yeah, so not too hot, not too cold, that's perfect. So that's why I like spring so much, because it's just enough heat that you don't have to freeze to death, but you don't have to be a puddle on the floor either. Even your chair is burning your ass. Oh wow, then it's pretty bad, I feel. Do you have like any ice or something you can put on yourself? Yeah, with your job, Fia, you can spend time outside if the weather is nice. That's very nice. I'm just stuck at the office and I barely even have like a good window. When I work from home, I sit in my bedroom and I don't really have a good view. I mean, I tend to have my curtains drawn anyway because I don't want the sun to reflect in my computer screen. And then whenever I work at the office, we have like this high up window that is like very small, so you can see sort of what kind of weather it is, but you can't see much else. Like there's no view. We see a wall basically, so we see if it's raining, the wall is wet, but like that's it. Yeah, you need to be outside even if the weather is crappy. Yeah. I am not envious of that at all. I like sitting in my office with my radiator turned on high, not to freeze to death. It's almost worse having a window knowing what you're missing out on. Sort of, I guess, but like, I feel like if I can at least see the sun and not feel like I'm in a bunker, it tends to improve my mood a lot, so yeah. I can see it both ways, but I definitely prefer to be able to look out the window just to feel hopeful, I guess, that I'm not this prisoner just sitting. Yeah. It has to be on a Sunday, the day I can especially lounge around on. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting with weather. It feels like we are never happy with weather, are we? It's like either too hot or too cold. Except if we are like on vacation or something, or and can do exactly what we want, then it doesn't really matter that much. So I feel like it's the human condition to always complain about something, and especially the weather. Yeah. UK weather is just a league of its own. Yeah. I was in the UK, I think it was 2 years ago, with my mom on vacation, and it was like the hottest summer in a long time. They were like warning people to go outside because it was so hot, and yeah, I think our hotel room did not have air condition either, so it was very hot. I do remember that. But yeah, we had a good time anyway, actually, because, I mean, as I said, we were on a vacation, so it didn't really matter too much, but yeah. But yeah, lagom is the best. When it's not too hot, not too cold. Isn't that how the story with Gold Luck and the Three Bears is going to? That we want it just good enough. Yeah. You're gonna go out now and hope you don't get cooked. Yeah, I wish you luck. I hope you survive it. Don't melt on the ground, please. That would be very unfortunate. Alright, but I think we should probably steer back on topic. So, how do you guys feel? Are you ready for the second sprint? As I said, I'm probably gonna read a lot, maybe not hammer as much on my keyboard, because I need to see what I can work with. But yeah, I think we should start. So I'm gonna put up that text, and then I will turn on the timer. So good luck everyone, have fun! Alright. The second and final sprint is done. Good job, everyone. I hope it went well. For me, it went pretty well. I managed to finish Emma's point of view. I could actually use most of what I had written before. Had to remove some parts and change some other parts, but most of it was still usable, so I'm happy about that. So I have once again switched my point of view to Lutzi, my main character. And he's now down at the ball, and the big event is about to happen that I have... that was the event I was talking about before that kind of sparked this whole new plot idea. The noble houses are gonna present themselves to the royal family and present their sons that are of the right age to be married, and that is what's gonna spark the whole competition thing. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. This was the final sprint for today, so I'm gonna have to write that off screen. But I know I have paused at a very good spot, so I know where to continue the next time I write, which makes me very happy. Yeah. I finished the Leah point of view, or well, technically her chapter had another point of view in it as well. Yeah, that's great. It's very fun when you can make progress like this. I like these writing streams a lot, even though we only had 2 so far, but I feel like it's easier to be productive when you know that there are people expecting you to be productive. It's so easy when you're on your own to just sit and be like, nah, I have written a few words, it's fine, I can go and play video games now, you know? So it's much easier to, when you're being held accountable, if you're not being productive, you know? Get into the fun stuff soon. Yes, I'm getting to the fun stuff soon, definitely. I mean, everything has been very fun so far to write. I'm enjoying this new version of my story. It's definitely a lot better than the old versions, I feel like. I'm taking it at a better pace. I'm trying to not rush things. I'm trying to have some more world building and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the whole competition thing and basically the scene that leads to the competition. I very much look forward to it because I have a very clear image in my head of it, how it will went down, so I'm looking forward to put that down on paper. Morana, my previous bad girl of bads, is now the principal of the school liaison. Oh, wow, that's quite a change. That's it's very fun when those things kind of happen. And she's not she's not bad anymore. She's one of the good guys. Yeah. That sort of happened with my trilogy. Like, my main character, Darkar, who is like the god of darkness, he was very much a villain in my first version of that story. That story was basically gonna be him being this generic evil overlord trying to take over the world, and the other girls were gonna imprison him in a human body where he would have to learn humanity. But now he's very much a goody two-shoes. He's still the god of darkness, but he's a goody two-shoes, and I think that contrast is very fun. She still has a very tragic backstory. Yeah, I like tragic backstories. Tragic backstories are the best backstories. Don't you agree? Yeah, my main character in this vampire story, Lutzi, he is also very tragic, I would say. And Max too, for that part as well. The only one without a tragic backstory of my main characters, or point of view characters I should say, is Emma. She has lived kind of the typical privileged white girl life. Her life has not had much struggle in it. She's about to learn some more struggle though. But Lutzi, definitely a tragic character. He has not had an easy life, that's for sure. And Max also have some like heavy baggage under his wings. But yeah, I really like this to write tragic backstories or tragic characters. And I like to read them as well. It's like they are very interesting, I feel. Her parents were killed when she was 5, and that caused her to lose control over her powers, killing absolutely everything around her, even managed to destroy her house. Wow, that sounds amazing. I am very much looking forward to read your story later, Fia. As I said, I love these kinds of characters. Like, it's just something so appealing with someone who has to struggle through life and has to overcome a lot of bad things. I mean, we always like an underdog, don't we? I like underdogs, and I also like these very evil villains as well. Those types of characters are my favorites. It's very interesting because, as I said, Emma, my third point of view character, she has had a pretty normal, standard, privileged life. And she is also the character that I feel is the least interesting to write so far. Because of that, because she is so normal in this crazy world, but I feel like she's needed as well, so I'm not gonna remove her. And I think when I get to her juicier bits, when she stops being like this up on a high pedestal girl, that she will be more interesting. She has some interesting things that will happen to her for sure. Your plan is to write until chapter 20 and then send it to us again. That will require a few more chapters plus a little bit of editing. Okay, yeah. Then I look forward to it. It would be a lot of fun. I really like to be able to read other stories as they are being written. It's fun to have like these writer groups and like hold each other accountable for writing and all that, because when you're alone it's very easy to just get stuck in your own head and sort of lose motivation a bit, because writing a story, it's different from like painting a picture or any other type of art, because writing takes a lot of time. Like, my stories have taken me years to write and I'm not even near finished. So it tends to be a very lonely progress, and if you can't get like feedback or anything, I feel like you might get lost in your own head sometimes. You're on chapter 12? Okay, so it's a bit more time until I can read it then. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, so keep writing! Even if we don't have these sprints. But yeah, I really like having these writing streams, because I'm being so much more productive than I usually am. I don't really know how many words I wrote this time, because I did some editing as well. But if I see only on Lutzi's part now, I wrote... Let's see. I wrote 350 words, so yeah, that's quite good as well. And also I did write some parts during Emma's point of view as well. I did not only edit. So yeah, because usually I only write about 200 words and then I don't write, and then it goes like a whole week until I write again, so it's a very slow progress. You also kind of got an idea for a gay, bi, straight love triangle. Wow, that sounds super interesting. Yeah, almost 800 plus words. That's incredible. It's very fun to just sit down and just pour out words like this, because it's not like I don't have the words in my head. I know what I want to write. It's just so hard to do it for some reason. I am huge on procrastinating. Like, I'm so easily distracted. And in this day and age with like our cell phones and even writing on the computer, it's so easy to just open up another tab and like, oh, YouTube. And then you just get lost. So I really think this is a good way to be productive, and I hope you guys feel the same and want to keep joining me on these. Also, speaking of gay, bi, straight love triangle, I'm not having like a love triangle, or actually I sort of do. Oh my god, I actually do kind of have that thing as well, because Lutzi, my main character, he's very gay, and Max, who is his love interest, he is bi, and Max is also a contender for the princess's hand, so I guess that makes that a gay, bi, straight love triangle, even if it's a bit more complicated than that, because Max is not really interested in the princess, he just wants the throne. And yeah, it's complicated, but it's, yeah. And it's interesting because I usually hate love triangles in like books, or, I mean, I don't hate them, but it's just, I feel like most love triangles are done so cliche-like and are just there to be annoying, really. I don't know, or maybe they are just not for me. Oh, I need a name time to go behind the name. Oh no, I need another word for this time to visit thesaurus. Oh wait, why am I on Wikipedia all of a sudden? Yes, very much like that, very much. Even when you just try to do research, it's so easy to just get sidetracked. Names, also, the bane of my freaking existence. Like, I had to come up with a name for the vampire queen just about now, and I was like, oh shit, I don't have a name for her. I'm streaming. I need to write a name. I can't just like sit here for an hour and not have a name and just not write at all. So I just quickly ran through some names in my head that like, maybe this sounds queen-like, maybe this can work, and I used it. And I actually liked it, so I think I might stick with it. But yeah, but it's so hard. I don't really want to write down like X and Y either, because that's so unpersonal. Like it's making it hard to feel a connection to the character, I feel like. You're not 100% sure about the love triangle? I think you should do it. I think love triangles are not necessarily bad. It's just that most of the times they are there for annoying reasons, like just shipping reasons, I feel. Like Team Jacob, Team Edward, like that sort of thing. And that annoys me a lot. But like if it's done well, I think it could be very, very good and interesting. It just depends on how it's done. I hate the fact, like, when I don't like it, I guess it's when it's a girl and two guys, and the girl she has to choose but it's so hard because she loves them both and blah blah blah, because that just makes the girl seem like a bitch, to be honest. But like if it's done well, it could be a very interesting part of the story. It's a square. Oh wow, you have your work set out for you then. But I believe in you, Fia. I have read some of your work. I think you can do it. I think you can pull it off. And I mean, you are like me. I think you kind of feel the same way about the love triangles, so I think you can do them justice, definitely. Or a love square in this case. Yeah. So, as I said, they are not bad per se, it's just that in most books they have been done in a bad way, or I mean, I guess it's not even bad. That's not the right word to use. Not my cup of tea, if we say it like that. Because I do think there are people who do enjoy that kind of story as well. We all are different and we all enjoy different things, and that is wonderful. Yeah. You don't like pure love stories, so love isn't exactly what you want to focus on. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. I do love love stories. I eat them right up. So I am very happy that this... It's not really a new genre, but like it's new because it's getting attention in media, I have seen, but like romantasy. I love that. Because it's fantasy with a huge focus on romance, and I love that. It's my two favorite things, because like romance in a contemporary setting, that's not really that interesting. I like rom-com movies, but I feel like reading a book in that sort of setting is not really for me. I love fantasy, so if I can have fantasy with a lot of love in it, yes, I eat that up. I eat it up so hard. Even though a big part of this whole mess is the prince choosing his wife. Yeah. I was a bit surprised when you told me that you were gonna like write that because it felt so out of place for you, I guess. But I mean, life is complicated. Life has a lot of different components, like love, hate, war, all kinds of stuff. So even though if you have romance in your book, I mean, it's not a bad thing even if you don't particularly like romance, because romance and having a romantic subplot are two different things, I feel like. You don't need to write romantasy just because you have some romance in your story. You can focus on it however much you want. My vampire story is gonna be quite romantasy heavy, I feel like, or at least that's what I'm trying to go for, because as I said, I love that kind of stuff. And also, before I even had a plot, like this romance between Lucy and Max has been in my head for far too long. Like, I need help. Like, a writer's brain is an interesting place. Like, if you guys could see what's going on in my head, you would have nightmares. I can tell you that for sure. I am crazy. Definitely, 100%. But I love my little beans. My little gay vampire beans. I love them. They are amazing. Well, there might be an end of the world event on the way, so the whole choosing a wife thing are gonna be put on hold because, well, world is ending. Yeah. I mean, isn't that how it usually goes? As I said, before I actually had a plot for my story, I had this romance in my head, like these characters and like just interactions they would have, and also shenanigans that the bad guys are doing behind the scene. And let me tell you, they are not nice people. They want blood. And not just like, oh, I want to suck your blood in a vampire way. They want a bloodbath. They definitely are doing some shady stuff, so there might be some sort of world-ending stuff in my story as well. But that's just what makes it fun. I feel like a fantasy book without a world-ending event, is that even a fantasy book? More bloodbaths for the people. Yes, exactly. More blood, more killing. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, but this has been very fun. I have enjoyed this a lot. We're definitely doing more of these. As I said last time we had this, I will try to have a writing stream at least once per month. At least for now. And if it gets very popular or like I get more time on my hands later, I might do more, but 1 per month feels like a pretty good pace to have this, because I want to also focus on my gameplay streams. So the next writing stream will be sometime next month, and my next stream will be tomorrow. I will be playing the house in Fata Morgana. And I will write now. I will stream a bit more next week because I have holidays because of Easter. So there will be some more stream. I'm trying to put down my schedule today. And I'm gonna put it up on the community tab as usual, and on my Instagram. So if you're interested in coming to my streams, you can check it out. But I probably will stream tomorrow and on Thursday as usual, and then I will probably stream on Friday and Sunday. I need to check up the times first, but I think those will be the days I will stream this week. But yeah, thank you so much for coming, guys. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you had a lot of fun as well. And hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!